Hi, I'm Paterson and welcome to this special episode of the Insurtech Show. Today, we're going to be venturing down one of the fastest changing avenues in financial services, looking at the challenges of improving customer experience in an age of constantly shifting expectations and regulations. Insurance giant Chubb sits down with us to discuss the customer experience and their game for the 2020s, whilst French multinational insurance firm AXA give us their insight on the importance of meaningful customer relationships in the digital age. We're also joined by Quadient, the company providing omnichannel communications for companies to better engage with their customers and retain that all-important human touch. First up, our interviewees talk about their customer focus in the insurance landscape as it stands today.
Well, the customer experience in insurance has been a topic of conversation for quite some time. I'd say at least 10 to 15 years. So it's not new. What has changed, however, is the complexity of what is that customer experience and how to deliver it. Insurers are now serving about five generations in terms of their policyholders, and that means 5 generations of different communication preferences, devices, and it's become more complex how they want to receive and find information, but also how they want to interact with their insurers. So at this point where price and product is no longer a differentiator for them in the market, insurers really need to look for CX to deliver additional value to those policyholders and really stand out against their competition.
Can you tell me about how insurance has changed over the last couple of years, especially when it comes to customer experience, CX?
I think we're massively improving now from a customer experience perspective. The problem that we had in the past was we were very process driven. Insurance is an incredibly competitive market and therefore efficiency had tended to rule the roost. But I think people recognise now that people are living in a world where they expect an excellent customer experience. Their interactions with other organisations set that standard, so we've got to be up there. So there's massive investment in terms of trying to improve not just our efficiencies, but also what we're doing in terms of making the customer interaction better. We're actually appointing people that are dedicated as customer advocates, and we're seeking feedback about new ways of doing things in much better ways than we ever have before.
Well, I think banks now have an incredible opportunity to open up the promise of bankassurance. Bankassurance is not new. It's been around for a while now, and historically it's been done through phone calls or mailing lists, right? And that's not very efficient, it's not very effective, and it doesn't really get at the heart of the opportunity here, which is to think about the customer, to think about the customer's needs. When you wake up, what do you need protecting in terms of yourself, your family, your assets, etc. And using insurance to provide that additional support so that individuals and companies can go about their day-to-day lives. And to do that requires a number of features that the digital help bring. It's about the understanding the customer. It's about the customer profiles. It's about delivering product in a way that the customer can understand. It's easy to consume. And then when they want to pay a bill or make a claim, all of that can be done effectively. So digitization really does open up a lot of opportunity. No doubt there are challenges. Some of them are very real and practical when you think about regulation, for example, when you think about privacy and customer data. So I think those are some of the new age challenges now for banks and insurers as they do this, and all of those can be overcome. But there is really a great opportunity.
Next, we look at how insurance companies can use omnichannel technology to provide tailored customer communication that isn't too much or too little.
Economies and societies have been changing at quite a pace, right, in the last decade, driven by secular trends, but also by digitization. And we're seeing new business models emerge, new types of companies emerge that weren't there 10 years ago, and different ecosystems. And insurance is actually really cool because we're the oil that makes everything works, right? And so we have to be part of that change and adapt to that change. So what does that mean? Well, we have to be much more customer centric. The customer is much more aware and has choice. Sometimes maybe too much choice. And insurance can be an opaque product. So in addition to thinking about the customer, we have to think about how we deliver that product to the customer. So the policy has to be simple. We have to be clear about the coverages that we're providing. We have to deliver it through channels and service it through channels that the customer wants to access. The insurance industry in general has been going down that path, and we're very excited to be helping lead that change and that charge with investments that we're making in different territories and different channels, underpinned by technology, but really being customer facing with how we deliver the product and the service.
At Quadient, we define omnichannel not only as sending communications through different channels. So it's not the fact that you are sending out correspondence in the mail, you're sending out SMS notifications and emails with attachments, and also providing that information on your web portal. That is multi-channel. You're sending communications through different channels. What omnichannel is for Quadient is when those channels are interconnected and integrated. It means that as an organization, you know that your policyholder is receiving a communication across which channel at what time for what product. And it's that integration that's the main difference between multi-channel and omnichannel. Now, why is omnichannel important? Well, there's a few reasons why it's important. The first one being just the diversity of the population that insurers are serving with their different needs and different expectations. They are coming from the retail industry. They are coming from their experience as consumers in other verticals, and they're bringing that to insurers and saying, why can't I find this information quickly and easily? Why do I have to call, or why do I need to chat with somebody? I just want to find the information and go about my day. It's really about the customer, number one, and their expectations. The second reason why it's very important is because insurance is in the relationship business, and you can't build a relationship with people you don't talk to, people you don't interact with, and these folks are your customers. So omnichannel is a way to build that engagement and to move that relationship forward. So whether that be you are helping them with some advice, even if they're not using your policy or they have a claim at the moment, but it's growing with your customer and their needs. So whether they have just bought a new home or their family has grown and now they need additional life insurance or what have you, it's really understanding who your policyholders are and how to grow that relationship.
It's very easy to get excited about, shiny toys and, the future and things like that. And we have to prepare for that. But not all our customers will want that. So, we always talk about an omnichannel approach and giving our customers choice. And we have to do that in every way, shape or form. So making sure that you can submit a claim by sending us an email, by writing us a letter, by submitting a video clip. We can assess the damage of vehicles and also damage in somebody's property by them just sending us a video clip, and then you're working with clever Insurtech startups, they can actually assess the extent of the damage. Photos of a car telling you whether it needs to be written off or whether it can be repaired. So doing all those sorts of things, very exciting, but also, if somebody wants to speak to somebody, if somebody wants a motor engineer to come round or a surveyor to come round and see the property, we'll do that as well. And that's why I think it's important to, it's great to be talking from a marketing point of view about the clever, new and exciting things you're doing, but being able to give those options and understanding which customers want which. Imagine you've got the greatest shiny device, but your customer is a confirmed Luddite who doesn't want to go near to technology and doesn't trust any of it. If we can understand that rather than forcing technology on them, but also we can use a lot of technology behind the scenes. So when we're talking about using video technology or photographs to assess damage rather than actually having to get a builder out, well, we can have the customer doing that, or we can get our surveyor doing that, and it improves the quality of their visit, and then they squirt things back to the office and the analysis is done there.
What can Quadient provide to insurers to really help them with their digital customer experience?
There's a few things. that we can do. But the way we like to look at it is multi-pronged, right? You have the operations team that are continually looking to reduce cost. So this is all about digitizing and automating, which we do. You have a customer experience team or a brand team or a marketing team looking to really enhance that customer experience across their entire life cycle and journey. They're looking to maintain brand consistency. They're looking to put forth their brand as one organization to their policyholders, to their customers. You have the compliance team, adjusting to changes in regulations and new regulations we're seeing now in California with the CCPA. We've had the GDPR in Europe, and this is just the beginning, I think, of a wave of multiple types of privacy regulations. So they're trying to adjust and remain compliant to protect the business. And last and not least, you have your products team trying to create these new products and be able to deliver these new products with added value to customers. Quadient has been in this business for over 25 years, and it's exactly where we kind of grew. We grew with insurers, we grew with banks and health insurers in this area, so we understand compliance really well. We understand the complexity of the documents and the policies that need to be created. Not all are as simple as auto policy. There are some really complex term life policies that need to be created. And so this means complex processes, really complex underwriting. And so what Quadient does, it helps deliver that experience by taking away some of that onus from IT, some of that onus from operations, by streamlining processes, by digitizing their communications and automating a lot of the work that right now is manual. So your marketing teams, your claims teams are no longer having to go to IT to make changes to communications. They're already created, they're templatized. The content is dynamic depending on what product it is or even who it's going to, and it's highly personalized and customized. So we're essentially taking what used to be a very manual process and making it highly personalized, very much automated, but also with certain controls in place for auditing and for compliance to ensure that from a legal standpoint, our clients, our insurers, and our banks can at any point audit, can check, and can see the version control of every and any content that they have that have been sent out to their customers. So this is where Quadient has been for the past 25 years. This is where we excel and we're growing with this business. So traditionally, customer communications management started in print, and that's where we started 25 years ago. So heavy print production and document management. And now moving into what is now digital forms and e-forms and online interaction and engaging of capturing data, bringing it in, sending out information, and being able to interact digitally with customers. And that next phase that we're moving towards is really that customer experience where the customer is completely and entirely at the center of the business operations and at the business strategy. And that means above and beyond empowering your business users with the tools that they need to do the work, but also gain access to the information and insights of what's working well for a whole customer segment, and how do you fix those touch points that are either not really working well or could work better, or missing touch points entirely in that process. And this is what we do. We can talk about the customer experience all day. This is where we live and where we thrive. There are many solutions that we offer within our portfolio that addresses the needs of our business clients depending on where they are in their business transformation and where they are in their business operations. Not all of them are doing a lot of digital right now. They might just be starting out. So wherever an organization is in that transition, we have solutions ready to take them to the next level.
That's it for this episode of the Insurtech Show. Make sure to catch us on the rest of our series at fintech.finance. See you around. Bye.